Going to go over the workout for tomorrow, which is Wednesday, October 29th, and just chat a little bit about the stimulus and some things to think about. So the workout is on a 2-minute clock. You're going to do 20 alternating dumbbell hang cleans to overhead, 5 shuttle runs, and then in the remaining time, as many bar muscle ups as possible. You're going to rest 2 minutes, and then you're going to do another 2-minute clock, and there's a pattern here. It's 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off. Second 2 minutes on, it's 16 alternating dumbbell hang cleans to overhead, 5 shuttle runs, and max bar muscle ups. So the hang clean to overheads, the reps go down, and then you rest 2 minutes, and then on the next 2 minutes you do 12 hang cleans to overhead, 5 shuttle runs, max bar muscle ups, and rest 2 minutes and one more 2-minute interval. Only 8 hang cleans to overhead, 5 shuttle runs, max bar muscle ups. So in theory, you should have more and more time to do the bar muscle ups. And there's a 5th set there that I actually just saw, and there you go, 5 rounds of that. Get more and more time to do the bar muscle ups, but it stays that same 2-minute clock the whole time. So what I want to talk about here is energy systems, metabolic pathways. And this is one of the models for fitness. With CrossFit, we're trying to increase your fitness. That's the goal. Fitness is work capacity across broad time and modal domains. Broad time domains, that aspect, what comes into play there is the energy system that the systems your body uses to take what you've eaten for fuel and turn it into energy. So there's 3 primary pathways, and this is definitely a simplification, but there's 3 primary pathways. First is the phosphagen pathway, phosphocreatine pathway, which is efforts that are 0 to 10 seconds. It's 1 rep max lifts. It's 50-meter sprint. It's, I think, super high output, but it doesn't last long, or it can't last long. A 1 rep max is 1 rep max because you can only do 1. And then the next pathway is a glycolytic pathway, which is 10 seconds to about 2 minutes. And both of those pathways are anaerobic, meaning they don't need oxygen, or they don't use oxygen to create energy. And the third pathway is 2 minutes and above, which is the oxidative pathway, which is your body is using oxygen to oxidize fat and carbohydrates. But fat comes into play more for fuel in the oxidative metabolic pathway. It's not that it's only one of those pathways that's being used at any one time. They're almost always going to be all 3 of them. But if you think of it like dials, one is going to be dialed up more during those time domains than others. And, in CrossFit, there's a lot of going in between them. There's a mixture of them. But a lot of CrossFit workouts are in that glycolytic pathway. And you might be thinking, well, most CrossFit workouts are more than 2 minutes. So what do you mean? Yes, that's true. But even a CrossFit workout that's 10 minutes is gonna be a go hard and then rest, not because even if it's not programmed, but because you have to. Like the idea of the glycolytic pathway is that 2 minutes is about the most you can go without stopping with a lot of intensity. It's anaerobic because it's that feeling of your body doesn't even realize how hard you have to breathe until about that 2-minute mark, and then that's when your heart rate gets super jacked up. If you think of Fran, you try to get most of it done before you realize how intense it is. So having said all that, and the goal is to be as efficient as possible and be able to utilize all 3 of those pathways and not specialize in one. The specialization that most often occurs is the oxidative pathway, which is long distance runners, think marathoners, endurance, long distance endurance events. But those people are not going to be very strong. You tell them to back squat their body weight and they probably can't. On the other side of that spectrum is the phosphagen pathway, which is the 0 to 10 seconds. Think power lifter who has a huge 1 rep max, but you ask them to run a mile and they're going to end up walking after 200 meters. CrossFit workouts, a lot of CrossFit workouts are primarily the glycolytic pathway, because working the glycolytic pathway also improves your aerobic capacity, your oxidative pathway, and it improves your top end strength, your phosphagen phosphocreatine pathway. But the flip side of that is not the case, where if you are working a lot in your oxidative pathway, it's not going to increase your 1 rep max lifts and your total strength, and it's not going to increase your ability to go super intense for 10 seconds to 2 minutes. And same if you're in the phosphagen pathway a lot, you're doing a lot of, near max lifts or max lifts, and that's like your primary focus. You're going to get strong, but you're not going to have a lot of muscular stamina. You're not going to have a lot of cardiovascular endurance. And your ability to output power quickly, like within that 10 second to 2 minute window, output a lot of power is going to be not very high. So having said all that, okay, this workout, what do you notice about it? It's a 2 minute clock with 2 minutes of rest. So it's like you're hammering that glycolytic pathway. Essentially, you go as hard as you can for 2 minutes and then rest for 2 minutes. So able to recover and then do that again. So you're training the ability to recover quickly and go back to that glycolytic high power output, but sustained effort. And that's one thing you can think about. And I'm getting real nerdy here. Some of these explanations are going to be for the nerds. You're welcome. Those of you who don't care, this is still helpful. But the goal here, when you're thinking about scaling, is we really want to hit this hard. So for the bar muscle ups, this is a day where, and you can see this in the scaling, this is a day where probably not, jumping bar muscle ups, or I can do a few, but I'm going to fail some. I'm going to have to stare at the bar for 20, 30 seconds. You're going to miss the stimulus of the workout if you do that. So you can see in the scaling, if you don't have bar muscle ups, you're going to be doing chest to bar pull ups. If you don't have chest bar pull ups, you're going to do regular pull ups. And if you don't have regular pull ups yet, actually jumping pull-ups is going to be the preferred option even before ring rows, just to keep the intensity up, because again, that's the intent of this workout: max intensity for 2 minutes and then rest. Beginner option with the ring rows is a way to if you're a total beginner, of course it's mechanics, consistency before intensity. So just focusing on building some pulling strength but not having to go max effort. So just something to think about when you're thinking about if you need to scale the workout tomorrow. We'll get a chance to practice bar muscle ups in the warm up, but for the workout, pick something that you can go hard and fast with very minimal or no rest. All right. That's the goal of this workout. I could go on and on. We could nerd out on the pathways and, that kind of thing. And we can and will. So just wanted to go over that workout. Pick a dumbbell weight. You can do that all unbroken, no doubt about it. 5 shuttle runs, run hard, and then a bar muscle up or scale version of that you can do consistently and constantly until the end of that 2 minute clock. Okay. Enjoy this workout, guys. I'm looking forward to it.